things. We are loving the hanging chair. The hanging chair is getting a lot of use. I go down there every morning to do my morning meditations. If you follow us on Instagram, Finca Martina, you will regularly see in our stories little videos of all of the farm animals trailing down behind me as I go down in the mornings. And we've had customers using the area as well, which is really cool. It's nice to see it sort of becoming part of the fabric of what people like doing here. So that's the hanging chair and the carob tree. Today what I wanted to talk to you was about a project that we've had in the planning now for nearly 5 years. And that project involves this thing right behind me, which you may look at and say, oh, that looks very much like a sort of swimming pool. And you would not be wrong, but you would also not be right, because swimming pools in the countryside in Spain, if you are maybe living in Spain and watching these videos because you are doing something similar to us, you'll already know. And if you don't, then basically swimming pools in the countryside in Spain are very difficult things to get away with building. So if you buy a property that has a pool and it's already legalised, then you're home and dry. If you buy a property in the countryside here that doesn't have a pool, it is incredibly difficult, at least in Andalusia, to get away with building a pool. It's, in fact, you could say really impossible. There are certain loopholes, but by and large, assume that if you're looking to buy a property in the countryside in Andalusia and it doesn't have a pool, you are not probably going to be allowed to put an underground built tiled pool. You can put an overground blow up pool, you can have a hot tub, you can do, there are things like that that you can do, but a construction that is a pool, you're going to really struggle, you know, to get a license for and to be able to do. So what we have here, you may say, looks surprisingly like a swimming pool. Almost, in fact, you could argue is a swimming pool. But in fact, what this is a water deposit, and this tends to be what people build here. Because if you live in the countryside, then you're going to need to have access to water to irrigate your land. So because of that, you can get permission to build things like this, to fill them with water to irrigate your land. And if you then happen to jump into said irrigation deposit every now and again to cool off, and maybe your entire family also do that, and maybe invite friends round, or in our case customers, then that's quite okay. So when we moved here, this had already been built. It had been built in the late 90s. Many members of our local community have memories of coming to Finca Martina, which I don't, it's in the background up there, you can't see it just now. Coming to Finca Martina and swimming in this non-pool. It's got history going back to the 90s for a lot of people. So what we want to do is renovate this non-pool into something even more non-poolish, such as do things like put a pump into it and some kind of filtration system, ideally lights, things like that. So I've been investigating this for a while now, different options for how to do it. The people that built it originally, I'll show you around it a bit more, obviously built it with the plan of doing that, because they actually built into the side of it space so that they could eventually put a pump, etc. into it. Can I get to it? There are a lot of fruit trees round it, which I love, but do make it kind of difficult to work your way round. So let's see, here we go. So we already have our sort of exit at the bottom of it, and space at the side for the gubbins, certainly for part of the systems that you need. I don't think we would fit a full filtration in there alongside all of the other things that we're going to need, but we've got some space there. At the moment it's looking decidedly like something that you probably would not want to get into. It's quite a lot of wildlife growing in there currently, so we kind of need to get into it, get all of that water out and scrub it, get it sorted out and work out the best way forward. So really the purpose of today's video is step one in the process, and I'm interested to know, do you know, if you're watching and you've done this, what has your experience been? If you are watching and you want to do it and you want to chip in with thoughts and ideas, I'm interested. Leave your comments below, like and subscribe, all of these things that people tell you to do. It's about 8.5 meters long by about 5.5 meters wide, and my plan is filter, lights, pump, ideally solar panels for heating it, etc. And then I need to work out what the rules are about whether I can tile it or not. Possibly not. It might be that it's waterproof. It might be that it's waterproof paint, swimming pool paint that needs to go into it. So I'll need to check that. And then the area around it is really cool because it's actually in its own little compound. You can kind of see the fencing there. The fencing goes right round the whole kind of area, and then in the background over there you kind of have these spectacular views of right down over the valley. If you can see it from here, just in the background there, go right down over the valley and down into Malaga. So it's going to be an incredible place when we get it up and running. My idea is to have a sort of the pool area, and then a sunbathing area, and then an area to the side of it that's going to have like a outdoor kitchen and a dining area, that kind of stuff, because I want our customers to be able to check into the finca and then come down here. It's sort of like about 100 meters away from the main finca and from Violetta and Susanna, our two rentals at the moment. So they can really sort of come down here and have like a morning or an afternoon here and eat and go to a fridge and get cold drinks and things like that. So that's the plan. So let me know what you think in the comments below, like and subscribe, and I'll have another update very shortly on how we're getting on with it. Bye.